Okay. Now we have it working.
Hell yeah.
Hells yeah. Okay. So, hello. Welcome to Mildly Unstable. I'm Ray, and this is my co-host.
Hannah, hello.
Yes. And, we were just discussing when we tried to this took a while to get set up. But we were just discussing when we first started doing this, we were kind of like... So I started doing this podcast, like I said, in 2019, and I did it with a girl I don't talk to anymore, and I never did anything with it ever again, but I had so much fun making it that I don't know why I never did anything with it. So I'm back.
Yeah.
And you're here.
And I'm here.
And you're
Hello.
here. Yes. And we want to try to do this every week if we can, or like every 2 weeks.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Try and keep it like consistent.
Yeah. You can't see, but Hannah's currently sitting next to an espresso machine.
Yes.
That was an early birthday gift from my mom. I love cappuccinos and like lattes and stuff like that. So, because I couldn't be more Italian. And so my mom got me this espresso machine as an early birthday gift as I was moving into school. So I've had like a couple of nights where just me and my friends were just sitting in my dorm, like drinking cappuccinos,
like the fanciest undergrad you could be.
Fanciest undergrad you could possibly be, which is kind of hysterical. So we wanted to talk this week about our starting school. I just had a stroke. Did you hear that?
I did. It's okay. You recovered.
Starting school. Yeah. So we wanted to talk about starting school. So you're going to community college.
Yes, I just restarted.
How has that started?
It's been good. I took like a 1.5 year long, I guess, hiatus. That makes it seem like super fancy, which is not.
Yeah.
But I just took some time for myself after like some family stuff happened, and I'm finally going back, and I know what I want to do with my life,
Good.
and it's kind of taken a weight off my shoulders.
Nice.
It's very refreshing.
Nice. Yeah, that does sound very refreshing. I'm in my 3rd year of college now.
Yeah, you're a junior.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm old. 3rd year of college. I think, was it the first week or the second week that I was here that I sprained my ankle? I think it was like the week I got here.
I think so too.
I sprained my ankle. I'm currently wearing a walking boot because I made the mistake of tripping over a hole.
Oh my god.
It was literally like there was a hole in the ground and I didn't see it, and I tripped over it and rolled my ankle.
Oh my god.
And I ended up in the ER. I was like, nah, it's fine. I walked on it for a couple hours, and then like a few hours later I was like, wow, I can't walk.
Yeah.
So I went to the ER and they were like, you sprained this. And I was like,
thank you.
Awesome. Thanks. So I sprained my ankle in a hole. I've basically, like, everybody's been like, how did you hurt yourself again? And I'll be like, I fell in a hole. I get an ankle injury like minimum twice a year.
Really? That was me in high school.
It's once or twice a year.
Really?
I have weak ankles. I don't know what it is. Sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of my sparkling ice. They should sponsor us.
They should.
Refreshing. It's the coconut pineapple flavor. I don't know about you, but Pina Colada, anything Pina Colada is my
I love a good pina colada.
Anything pina colada is amazing.
See, I don't like pineapple, but if you hand me like a pina colada or like an ice pop that's that flavor or anything, I'm like, give it to me.
Yeah, I went to this restaurant over the summer. My uncle's friend owns a restaurant. So if any of you are going down the shore and you're in the Jersey Shore and you go to Brielle, go to Pig and Parrot. And it's this like seaside like bar like right next to the marina, and it's really amazing. And I got a pina colada that, I'm not kidding, was like a foot tall.
Oh my god.
And it was just this really long drink, and they had this like 1.5 foot long straw that you just stick in it, and you just kind of have to like lean back and like take a sip, like leaning back and hope it doesn't spill all over you.
Like drink parkour.
Yeah. I love virgin cocktails because I'm not 21 yet, so I can't order cocktails out.
Yeah.
So I usually will be like, hey, this is a cocktail that looks good. Can I get it virgin? And it's always really funny to me because every time I do that, I get these drinks that are always like crazy.
Yeah.
And they always taste so good. And I got a Pina Colada, and it was incredible. So that was fun. But I sprained my ankle.
Oh my god!
The first week of school. The first week I was here,
you couldn't even get settled.
I tripped on a hole on campus and sprained my ankle, and I spent like 6 hours in the ER because we waited for 3 hours. And then they took us back. We waited for an hour to get x-rays. That took about 10 minutes.
Oh my god.
And then we waited for another hour and a half. And then I got discharged after that.
That's insane.
Just for them to tell me that I got sprained. And they didn't have a walking boot. So they gave me this like air cast that was useless. Like I could not walk.
Yeah.
So I called my dad at like 2 a.m, like crying, like I can't walk. I was like crying. I was like, this is the worst thing ever. And I was like sobbing.
Yeah.
And my dad was like, are you okay? And I hadn't gotten paid yet, so I was like, and I can't afford food. And my dad was like, I will send you money. Just go get something from Wawa. And I was like, thank you.
Like so the world's crashing.
And I got a family-sized thing of mac and cheese.
They do that?
Yeah. It's supposed to feed 4 people. It fed 1 that night.
I think we all have that experience.
That was before I started Noom. I started the diet.
Really?
I started Noom.
I've been thinking about doing it.
No more family-sized mac and cheese.
That's fair. I don't know if they'll fit that in.
Yeah. Do you want something to drink?
No, I'm okay.
Are you sure?
Okay. Yeah, I
have more of the Pina Colada sparkling water.
I might take you up on that later. I like full blown. I got my cold brew from Starbucks.
Oh god.
And I was like
so are you just like hopped on caffeine right now?
A little bit. A little bit.
This is gonna be an interesting episode because you're hopped on caffeine and I forgot to take my ADHD meds today.
I feel
so
that.
This should be fun.
This should be really fun.
I love my cappuccino espresso maker.
Yeah.
It's just
it's
great.
so
I just keep looking at it. It's just the greatest thing I own. And it's got the frothing wand, so I get to like steam the milk.
Oh my god.
Which is fun. It's
Look
it's like I'm a barista. I don't know.
A home-trained barista.
Home-trained barista. Literally, I was like, how to make a cappuccino when I went on YouTube. And I was like, I'm so cool. I have like syrups over there.
Look at I
have caramel. Apparently, caramel and hazelnut together is how you make toffee nut.
I heard that.
Which I didn't know.
Yeah, neither did I.
But apparently they use toffee nut in the caramel macchiato.
Oh, really?
At Starbucks.
Oh my god.
So they're gonna come for me.
Yeah.
But
we're gonna get
you could just get the hazelnut and the caramel syrup, mix it together. It's like the caramel mocha or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you put chocolate syrup at the bottom, you mix it, you pour the espresso over it, add the milk. You could put caramel on top, and then apparently that like sugar that goes on top is just salt mixed with sugar.
I heard that.
It's like 2 tablespoons of salt and 2 tablespoons of sugar, and then you mix it together, and then you like pour it on top.
God. I love
so
that.
So I need Starbucks.
Literally, it's
we're gonna get arrested.
We are. Starbucks is gonna be like, hello. Yeah,
police. Yeah,
toss them in the cellar.
That's not a hate crime. Well, I hated it.
We are both technically queer, so we could just,
we could play that card.
We could.
We could if we wanted to.
Yeah, it's there. It's an option.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god.
But yeah, first week of school. I ended up in a walking boot.
Oh my god.
And now I have to wear this for the rest of the month.
For the rest of the month?
For the rest of the month.
Oh my god.
And the funniest part about that is, on September 25th, I'm gonna be in a mosh pit in an AJR concert in a walking boot. No, but that's not even the worst part. Funny. That's not even the worst part. I got a VIP ticket.
So you're gonna be meeting
them. Not even just that. I got the VIP ticket where I get to play dodgeball with them. So I have to play dodgeball with AJR while I'm in a walking boot.
Oh my god.
So this band that I'm obsessed with, because their new album could have been called The Life of Ray Salerno. Literally, it was, oh my god, it could be the soundtrack for my entire life. If you haven't listened to AJR, OK Orchestra, it changed my life.
Really?
Listening to it, like, as I was listening to it, I literally ascended to an ethereal plane of existence.
That's amazing.
I'm obsessed with it. So they have these tickets, and I've spent more than I should have on these VIP tickets so I could get a picture with them. I get to go to one of the guys who produces all their music. He does a master class of how he produces their music.
That's sick.
So I get to learn about that, which is something I'm interested in because I make music.
Yeah.
And then you also get to play either dodgeball or Pictionary. Hoping for Pictionary. Because wouldn't it be funny if they were like, all right, guys, line up to play dodgeball with this band you're obsessed with. And I was like, I'm crippled.
Yeah. Hi, I'm here.
It's like, but regardless, I would play dodgeball. Because I'm not going to be like, oh, I can't play dodgeball with AJR, I'm crippled. I'd be like, no! Give me the ball!
Fully, like,
I would be messing people up, and they would be like, but you have one leg, and I'd be like, I know! But both of my arms work. And then it's funny though, because I've been seeing all these people that are like in love with them, and like I fully, like, a bunch of people were like, I want to marry him. And I was like, he has a girlfriend. You're not going to marry him.
Yeah.
I will settle for being their best friends.
You know what? That's
like,
fair.
I would be totally happy to just, like, eat soup with them. I would be totally happy to like, go out for sushi and, like, just get miso soup.
I love that.
And just chow down and be like, so... You know, you guys are great. Yeah.
So how was your weekend?
I would be happy to just eat soup with them. And the funny thing is, I'm assuming I'll be calm when I meet them.
Yeah.
I'll be freaking out up until I meet them.
That's fair.
But I'll be calm when I meet them because I know it's problematic now, but I before people realized what a piece of garbage he is, I met Shane Dawson twice. Which I regret, but
to be fair,
now I realize it was problematic.
Yeah, I feel like we all had that phase.
But at the time, I was a really big fan of him. I hope I don't get canceled for this, but I was a really big fan of him at the time when I was ignorant and I wasn't woke. So I just did the whoa for anybody who but I was completely ignorant of the fact that he was like a pedophile.
Yeah.
But I distinctly remember I went to see his movie. And he was doing a meet and greet after the movie, and my cousin was with me, and I was hyperventilating. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna need you, oh my god. And literally there was a security guard that was like, are you, do I need to call an ambulance? Yeah, and my cousin was like, they're fine. And, but I distinctly remember, like, panicking and, like, hyperventilating and then getting up to the front of the line, panicking even more, and then going up to him, and it was like a switch flipped. Really? And I was like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. I'm such a huge fan of your work.
That's iconic.
I love your videos. I just love your content.
Oh my god.
Like, I'm such a huge fan. And then he, like, gave me a hug and we took a picture. And I also met Drew, who was...
Adore him. Yeah. Still
I met him. Very nice, very
wonderful
nice.
Man.
I was like, my friend didn't come. My friend was supposed to come with me. I came with my cousin. He was like, your friend. And I was like, yeah, seriously.
Yeah, literally.
And it was hilarious, but I walked away and my cousin was like, where did that come from? Yeah. You were about to pass out. I remember because I scared the security guard because I was like, I can't breathe.
just a child,
just, you know,
exclaiming they can't breathe and
being like, I can't breathe.
Oh my god.
And we walked off the line, and my cousin was like, where did that come from? And I looked her dead in the eye, and I said, what did I say? Because I don't remember. And she went, dude. Apparently, I became super calm. And when I was 13, for my, I think, 12th or 13th birthday, I went to a meet and greet at SiriusXM with Daniel Radcliffe.
I would have passed away. I would have collapsed and died.
I'm a huge Harry Potter fan.
Yeah,
so I walked up, and my dad and I are waiting on the line, and I'm sobbing.
Of course, naturally.
Full sobbing. And I see that we're getting to the front of the line, so like a warrior, I go, all right, and I wipe my eyes, and I like crack my neck.
Oh my god, that's
and I
really
walk
intense.
up, and I walk up, and I'm like, hi, it's so nice to meet you. I'm a huge fan. I love Harry Potter. Like, I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad you're here.
Oh my god.
And he was like, oh my god, you're so nice. And I was like, yeah, I'm not creepy at all.
Super iconic.
Oh, it just says
we're still recording.
I'm getting notifications on my laptop. Hang on. But yeah, so I was like, so nice to meet you. And that would have been fine. But then after we took the picture together, and he's 5'8".
Yeah.
Or no, he's 5'5". At the time I was 5'8".
Okay,
I'm 5'11"
so
now. So I'm taller than him.
Okay.
And my dad is 6'5".
Oh, so he could physically step on him.
Turns and looks, and then looks up to look at my dad's face and goes, you're tall. And then tells us that he's going to stand on his toes for the picture.
Oh.
And he was still shorter than me on his toes.
Of course.
I'm 5'11" now, but at the time I was 5'8", 5'9". And it was the funniest thing. And then my dad, after the picture, says, it's their birthday this week. Because I think it was like 2 days before my birthday. And he turns to me, and just the sweetest guy goes, happy birthday! And gives me the biggest hug.
Oh my god, that's so sweet.
We walk, they're like, okay, next person, and we're like, thank you very much, and we walk out, and my dad goes, how do you feel? And I distinctly remember going, and I couldn't speak. I remember not being able to speak.
I don't know that I blame you.
For like 3 hours. It was like a few hours later, and we were sitting at the bus stop because we went to the wrong bus stop on the way home. So my mom was coming to pick us up, and I remember my dad was like, how do you feel? And I was like, I could not speak just for hours. And it was funny because he was like, I got your mom on the phone. She was like, how was it? And I'm like, and she was like, oh my god. I was like, I was like, I could not speak.
Oh my god.
I was just making these like guttural choking noises. I sounded like I was drowning.
Oh my god.
I was like,
just gurgling.
Just gurgling.
Oh my god.
I was just foaming at the mouth. And I could not speak, and it was like, and I have, but now I have this obsession with their band. I'm assuming they're gonna be like, all right, the guys are coming for you to like play dodgeball.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be like, hi.
Incredible.
I'm gonna be like, I'm such a big fan. Okay.
They're like, you can't play. You're in a walking cast. You rip it off.
They're like, you can't play if you're in a walking boot. I'll be like, I will take the walking boot off and play in one shoe and a sock. I will do it. If it means I get to play dodgeball with Asia.
I'll hop around.
I'm hoping it's Pictionary because I'm a horrible artist, but I'm smart.
That's
so fair. I'm hoping that I'll be able to like do that. But if it's dodgeball, I'm just gonna have to deal with it. But then that's not even the worst part. The worst part is moshing for 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
But it's an alternative band, and they're very like poppy alternative.
Yeah.
Not really poppy, but
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So the mosh pit isn't gonna be like
it's like punching each other.
Nobody's gonna be like throwing people around or like just like throwing elbows. There's just gonna be a bunch of people like dancing in a general like.
So you won't be getting beat up.
It's really just standing area. It's not like my friend's going to this metal concert.
Oh.
And she's like, I hope I don't get stabbed. And I was like, wait, is that an issue in the mosh? And she was like, yeah, have you never been to a mosh concert? And I was like, not at a metal concert.
It can get intense.
It can get
I have been physically thrown into a mosh pit before. Me and Leanna went to emo night and got physically tossed in.
Yeah.
We were both hit. It was very intense. It was a whole thing.
My friend went to the Stone Pony to see some like hard rock or like metal band, and apparently some kid got lifted and dropped on his head. That will not be happening at the AJR concert.
I do not believe that's something.
It's not that kind of concert. It's definitely not that kind of concert. But I'm very excited. I'm low-key nervous because I wrote them a letter, because they wrote a song that has like a very personal meaning to me. So I wrote them. I wanted to like explain it to them, but I know I won't have time to do so.
Absolutely.
So I wrote a letter, and I'm just gonna be like, here's the letter. Take it. I'm just gonna be like choking. I'm just gonna choking and be like, here you go. And then I get to take a picture with them, and I'm very excited. But I think I'm just gonna be like, here's the letter.
Fully sobbing, foaming at the mouth. Letter.
What? Read! Where's all the paper? I'm just gonna hand it to them. Be like, what?
They're gonna be like in an interview 3 months down the line. They're like, what's your most memorable fan experience?
This kid.
They're gonna be like, this person
handed us a letter
and just screamed letter at us,
foaming at the mouth, and they're like, letter!
Oh my god, that's so funny.
Or I'm gonna be like letter, and they're just gonna be like, we just got a letter.
Oh my god,
we just got a letter.
That would be
Did
iconic.
you see the video of Steve?
It has popped up on my Facebook timeline.
I've never cried more than having Steve from Blue's Clues tell me that he was proud of me. It's what I needed.
Yeah. I mean, like, the world is in such shambles that
Steve
from Blue's Clues was like, I need to address
how bad
nation.
does have to get for Steve from Blue's Clues to be like, oh, they need to hear my voice right now.
Sorry for dipping 20 years ago. Let me, like, slide back in.
Yeah.
And the fact that Nick Jr. was like, yeah, the nation's in shambles. Bring in the big guns. Like, we really are living in the dystopian timeline.
It's like some PA is like, sir, the nation is falling apart. What do we do? Get Steve. It's like some guy holding a cigar. Yeah. He's like, get Steve. It's time. The time has come.
Like, they've kept him in like,
the time has come. They have him in like some like cryo tube where he's just like frozen.
They gotta thaw him.
They have to like thaw him. They're like, start the thawing process.
Oh my god.
Start defrosting Steve-sicle.
Steve-sicle. Oh my god, I love that. Yeah,
that's hilarious. I love it so much. I think it's so funny that the world was enough for Steve to be like, maybe I should say something.
Yeah, like him just sitting at home.
Like, I kind of dipped. I dipped a while, but like I think they need it.
Just a little treat.
Yeah, like I think they need someone right now. Which is kind of hysterical. I think they're just kind of like, we need to fix this.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's sad when we get to the point where Steve is like, we need to do something.
Yeah.
I need to address the nation. Like, I think it was more powerful than if the president said something.
For sure.
Like, more powerful than like if like Gandhi had made
I thought you were gonna say God.
No.
Okay.
That's hysterical. Hang on, my mom is texting me.
It's okay.
My mom said, I'll see you at 6:30, and she texted me, we are 5 minutes away. I said, I'm gonna need some time. I thought we said 6:30. Yeah, so I like how we said this was gonna be about the first, like, starting school, and then it turned into us being like, Steve!
Literally, like, Steve from Blue's Clues! We're only 25 minutes in, and we've covered, like, 12 topics.
Yeah. This is, oh my god, this podcast is just pure chaos.
It's just two people with severe adult ADHD. One's unmedicated, one forgets to take their medication.
One forgot to take their meds.
And we're just here raw dogging it, figuring it out. I'm sorry. That's the only
I was not expecting that analogy.
I genuinely was looking for a different word, and then that's the only thing that popped up into my empty little head. So
head empty, no thought.
Head empty, no thoughts.
Head empty, no thought.
What was the word I was thinking of?
Okay, my mom said we'll be there at 6:30. You just said you're 5 minutes away. So
they're gonna go do some.
They're probably just gonna go to like Walmart
for sure
and do like a big grocery shop or something.
That's fair.
Literally, let me tell you.
Oh my god.
Every time my mom is like, you want to come grocery shopping with me? I'll only be 15 minutes.
It's never 15 minutes.
One time I had to work, and I had to work at school, and I was home.
Oh my god.
And I was like, okay, yeah, if it takes 15 minutes, it's just anything longer than
that,
I can't come. She's like, no, 15 minutes. An hour passes.
Oh my god.
Still sitting in the car with my father. I'm seething. I'm like, she said it would be 15 minutes.
That's fair.
And I'm like, it's been an hour. And then another 10 minutes go by. And
call from mom.
wait, hang on. Hello? Hi. Hello? Mom? Mother? Okay, she butt dialed me.
Iconic.
I just heard her tell my dad that something with Nutella made her had a foodgasm.
I love that.
That was not the word she used.
That's fair. That's fair.
Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so we were in the car, and then 10 minutes go by, and my dad's like, oh, she's calling me. She's probably coming to the car.
Yeah.
And he's like, hello. And she's like, can you come in and help me bag? And he's like, yeah, I'm coming. And I'm like, mother, I'm shaking with rage. I'm like shaking with how angry I am. And she gets in the car, and I unleash. I'm like, you said it would be 15 minutes, and it's been over an hour. And I'm like going off. I'm like,
that's fair. That's fair.
I'm like, Hulk smash. Like I go up. I'm like, I gotta get home and go to work. And she's like, I'm screaming.
Yeah, because you're like,
she's like, okay, oh my god, okay, let's go.
Oh my god.
I got to work just on time.
That's good.
And I told my boss, I was like, if I was late, it would have been my mother's fault. And she was like, okay. Like, clearly,
your boss is like, this is a job at the college. Like,
like, clearly
just give us a heads up. Oh my god.
So
I'm embarrassed to admit that I am that person. I take my bags, I put them in the trunk of my car, I take 20 minutes to figure out what music I'm gonna listen to, I go the 40-minute drive to my nearest Aldi, because I'm that big. I love Aldi, don't get me started. And then I spend 2.5 hours perusing the aisles.
Oh my god.
Getting
my
everything that's
ADHD
not on my
would
list.
not let me be in a store for that long.
See, I'm the exact opposite. I hyper focus. I'm like, this is the stuff that's on the list.
Yeah.
But also, like, this brioche bun looks good. I don't eat bread, but yeah.
My problem is I'm on the autism spectrum. So I get severely sensory overloaded.
That's fair.
Sometimes if I'm in an area for too long.
Oh, okay.
And so sometimes when I'm in the store for too long, I get seriously overloaded.
That's fair.
With my like sensory overload.
Yeah.
And then I just need
at that point you have to get out.
There are times where I'm in a store and I'm like, I have to leave.
Yeah.
And my parents have been very understanding about it because I didn't get diagnosed with high functioning autism until very recently. My parents have been adapting very well.
Good.
But it was just crazy to be like not understand why sometimes I would get so overwhelmed by being in a store, and then I realized that it was because of that. But I get so overwhelmed being in a store sometimes, and I'm like, I have to leave. I get very overwhelmed.
It can be a lot with like the fluorescent lighting and all the people and people who are moving over. That's why I like have specific stores I go to. I know the layout. I know where everything is.
Yeah, and some
those
fluorescent
are the
lighting
only ones I
makes
go to.
me nauseous too.
Yeah.
So there are some days where I'm like in a store and I'm like, I want to leave.
Yeah, you're like, I'm gonna vomit.
I want to go home. Yeah.
Oh
my neighbors
goodness.
probably hate me right now. My one neighbor is not here, and then I live next to the stairwell, so
yeah, that's fair.
That's fine. I have a neighbor across the hallway that I'm friends with, and then I have another one across the hallway that I'm not friends with, but it's low key. Kind of follows me around.
Weird.
Yeah.
Right.
But it's fine.
Life.
It's fine. Asks a lot of questions.
That's weird.
Asks a lot of, like, yesterday I was sitting outside of the building, my building, because my friend was coming to pick me up.
Yeah.
And I was waiting because it was such a nice night, and I was just sitting outside, and I was like, I'm just gonna wait outside. It's such a nice day out, like, you know, I'm just gonna chill. And she was walking by, and I'm not gonna name names, but she was walking by, and she looks at me, and she goes, "It's Ray!" And I'm like, yeah, she does that every time she sees me. "It's Ray!" And I'm like, "Hi."
Yeah.
And this is a girl who's, like, followed me to the bathroom, who, like, when my door is propped open, opens the door to look in my dorm to see if I'm in there.
That's weird.
And yeah. So that was an issue I was having. And then she was like, "What are you doing?" And I was like, "I'm waiting for my friend." "Where are you going?" "Why does it matter?" I don't know. "We're going out." "Are you going to go on campus or off campus?" "Why does it matter?"
Yeah,
I'm
feel
just
like
curious.
if you're super close
And she was like, "I'm just
person, it's
curious."
fair.
She was like, "I'm just curious." And I was like, "I don't know where we're going." She was like, "Oh, will you be coming back tonight?" And I'm like, again, I just kept asking, "Why does it matter?" And she was like, "I'm just curious." She just kept saying, "I'm just curious." And I was like, I don't really, like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She was like, "Oh, okay." And then she was like, "How'd you hurt your ankle?" And I was like, "I fell in a hole." "Oh, where?" "On campus." "Well, where on campus?" What? "In a hole on the side, next to the sidewalk."
I'm not gonna
I was like,
remember.
"Next to the sidewalk." And
Oh
she was
my
like,
goodness.
"How long are you in the boot for?" Probably till the end of the month." "Oh, what is it like wearing the boot?" It's annoying. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not fun
And she's
to wear a
asking me all
walking
these
boot.
questions, and I couldn't understand where she was at, and she just, like, likes to know where I'm gonna be. And we don't hang out. We're not friends.
Yeah, like if that was someone you're super close with,
If
and
it
like
was
had
like
plans
my neighbor,
with,
and
or even like a dorm mate,
yeah,
you know,
that, or like if it's my neighbor who we're kind of like fake roommates,
Yeah.
but we plan our nights around each other. Me and my two neighbors. She's not part of that, so it was weird for her to be like, "When are you coming home? Where are you going? Are you going off campus? Who are you going with?" I was like, "Why are you asking me more questions than my mom does?"
Yeah,
Like, what's happening? It was very uncomfortable.
that's odd. Yeah,
And I'm getting to a point where I'm ready to just be like, "Can you just
yeah, like
me
hey,
alone?"
like what's up? Like why is this what's happening?
Yeah.
You know, because like some people that's their like I know I am the worst person at making friends.
Yeah.
Like.
But she also will
Terrible at it.
sometimes just, like, open her door and, like, stare at my door and, like,
Yeah,
wait.
that's a lot.
And then there's been a couple of days where, like, I've heard her walk up and just stand by my door for a little while.
Yeah, that's-
and then go back.
That's a lot more than just trying to make friends.
Yeah, it's
That's
more
just
than trying to
weird.
make friends. And I can understand if it was, like, she just doesn't have social skills and just doesn't know how to make
Absolutely.
friends. But at this point, it's, like, it's creepy at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to be nice and I'm trying to be polite.
Of course.
But at the same time, like, you get to a point where you can't do that anymore.
Exactly, because you're like, okay, this is how it is now. Is this going to become a thing where they explain themselves,
Yeah.
or is this going to progress to a point where I'm even more uncomfortable?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's definitely, it was an issue. That's definitely something that I'm starting to think I might have to address.
Yeah.
But yeah, so things were a lot easier last semester. Now we have these, like, rowdy guys down the hall.
Ugh.
I sound like an 80-year-old. Those rowdy kids! But
No, that's what I
now,
call them too.
now every time I open my door, I just hear, like, "Hey, get in the Honda today." And it's like, or like, I don't know
That's
if
too
they
much.
sing about Hondas, but
I don't know if they
it's
sing
like,
about
"Pull up
Hondas."
the whip and hey," and it's like,
I know what you're talking about,
stinks
yeah.
like weed. And I'm like, it was never like this. I liked how quiet this building was.
Yeah, I
And like
feel like
now
this
there are a
building's
couple of
very
nights where I'll hear guys walking down the hallway, and then there'll be a big bang against my door because they're throwing each other
Yeah,
around
that's
the
too
hallway, and it's really annoying. And my friend Lola was like ready to like fight. Ready to fight because they like slammed into my friend Hannah's door like late at night, and we were in her dorm. And they were like throwing each other around the hallway, and then they were like, "Hey, pull up the weapon!" And it's just kind of like, there's nothing wrong with that kind of music. Like, if
Yeah.
you like it, fine. Don't blast it. So
Yeah.
from the other end of the hallway, I hear it when I open my door.
Exactly.
And it also just the reek of the weed.
Because this isn't like this is a smaller building on
It's
campus.
a smaller building.
It's different than the apartments over on the
and
main
I
campus.
do understand that it's a wet building.
Yeah.
But don't act like a jerk. You know what I mean? Like, don't act like an idiot.
Be mindful.
You know, like me and my friends were saying, like, I'm turning 21
Yeah.
on October 4th. We are recording this on 9/11.
Yes.
I'm not gonna be like partying in my dorm.
Yeah.
Like me and my friends are gonna like watch movies and like sip on Mike's Hards. Like that's all we're gonna do. I respect the people in my building enough to not get rowdy.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Especially when there are party houses on this campus.
Yeah.
Like, we have to admit that. There are some houses that you go and there's going to be a party and it's going to be loud. And
And if you want to go, but don't bring it back.
Exactly.
Because a lot of people in this building that I've talked to have said, like, my favorite thing about this building was that it was quiet.
Exactly. Especially because, like, I've been visiting this campus for 3 years now. I've had people who I spend time with on this campus.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know this building existed.
Yeah.
And when I've been in this building before, it's been super quiet.
Yeah, and it's also like, this is like a Tuesday night that they're like...
It's not like a Friday or Saturday and they've talked to their neighbors and been like, do you mind if we hop back to the apartment?
Yeah.
If we're doing tequila shots down the hall, you know, do you care?
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
They're like all these
very
people.
obnoxious.
It is very obnoxious. It's very annoying. But you know, I guess it's fine. But I miss when this building was like it was a lot quieter.
That's fair.
And I sound very old saying this, but it was a lot quieter.
I'm the same way though.
It was just nicer to be in when it wasn't so crazy. I have a phone charger somewhere. Here it is. My phone's gonna die.
You want to be able to
you want to be able to relax and you want to be able to not have to like open your door and be like, stop throwing each other against people's doors and stuff like that. Like,
it's also stressful, like finals happen.
Yeah, it's just these like couple of guys that moved in this semester and like clearly don't understand the vibe of the building.
Yeah.
Like nobody else really does that. Like everybody just
but also like with the way that this school does their dorm layouts, they're clearly not freshmen. They've clearly been here long enough to know that Cent really isn't this huge party school like Rowan.
It is 100% not a party school.
Like parties happen. There are frats on campus. But it's not, you don't come to this school with the thought of like, I'm gonna party every weekend. No. Like a lot of people who want to do that, who go to this school, will go down to Rowan or Rutgers. Yeah. There are better options.
Because
the parties
it's not a party school.
Exactly.
Because St. Mary's not a party school. It's just annoying. But, you know, such is life.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But are you a big party person? Because I'm not.
Not really.
No.
You know, I have this like super bad tendency to. I just like after a couple drinks, I kind of like shut down. I want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I like I've gone to parties and my boyfriend will end up doing whatever the hell he does with his friends, and I'm just like in the corner online shopping.
Yeah.
And like. That's fine.
No,
they're like I enjoy the occasional party. They're super fun.
Yeah,
but like I'm definitely not going to the bars every Friday night.
Yeah,
person.
No, I'm not a huge party person.
Yeah.
I get sensory overload. I get anxiety, so I tend to stay in. Yeah. Most nights. That'll probably change once I'm 21.
Yeah, that's fair.
But at the same time, like, I don't expect myself to be going crazy.
Exactly. Like, I've been 21 since February. Yeah. I've not gone to a bar with the intention of partying once.
Yeah, I would much rather, like, buy some stuff and, like, come back to my dorm and just, like, chill with my friends and stuff. Like, I would much rather do that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm not a big party person, and people are like, you're old. And I'm like, I guess so, but...
I'm the exact same way, though. Like, if I'm on the bar, all right, a couple drinks here and there is nice. But after that, I'm like, I just want to go home and relax.
I had a girl last year. I was sitting in student life.
Yeah.
And... Student life is not the place to be having the conversation of like, oh, I'm part of the party scene. Like,
no, it is not.
You know, where the dean of students
where they all
has her office.
Yeah.
That's not the place to be saying it. And this girl walked up to me, and she had just gotten out of the dean's office after fighting with her that she should be allowed to sell stickers that she makes on campus.
Yeah.
But like at events. The campus sponsors.
Yeah, the campus isn't gonna let that.
They're not gonna do that. So there was that. It wasn't like they were telling her, like, you can't, like, promote it and sell it on campus. They were like, we're not going to set up a table for you to do this at a football game.
Exactly.
Like, so that was a thing. But she came up to me and she was just talking to me. And she was like, oh, what grade are you in? And I was like, at that time, I was like, oh, I'm a sophomore.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, okay, I'm a senior. She was like, you know, I don't think I've seen you around. And I was like, I've seen you, but, you know, I don't know you that well.
Yeah.
I knew she was my friend's roommate and that they didn't get along. And she was like, yeah, I'm more in the party scene. And the RA that was sitting next to the desk was like, guys, don't really be talking about that right now. I was like, yeah, this isn't really the place.
Yeah, this isn't the place to be
like, I was like, this isn't really the place to be flaunting.
Especially because when you were a sophomore, the COVID restrictions here were very strict.
Yeah, and it was crazy because she also said to me, she was like, oh, it's okay, I'm 21. And I was like, okay, but COVID.
Yeah.
I was like, we're not supposed to be having gatherings right now. I was like, you could get yourself in a lot of trouble.
And not only that, you don't want to say that to other students. I remember my group of friends, like, who were seniors last year, would pull up the Snapchat stories and be like, oh, so-and-so is back partying again. And by the end of the year, there was, like, 31 cases on campus. All from people who attended those parties.
Absolutely.
You know, other students were getting pissed and were ready to fight about it.
Yeah, so I said to her, I was like, this is not the place to be having this conversation right now. And she was like, whatever. And she was like, well, do you party? And I just wanted her to, like, back off. So I was like, so I was honest and was like, no, I don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
And she was like, oh, so you're lame.
Are you kidding?
Like, to my face. She went, oh, so you're lame. And I was like...
Love that.
And I just kind of looked at her, and the RA that was sitting at the desk, like, looked over and, like, clearly had no idea what to say.
What do you say in that?
What do you say, like, without being like, hey, that's not okay? Like, you know what I mean? Like, she didn't want to, like, reprimand her because then that would be like, oh my God, whatever.
Exactly.
So I just kind of looked at her and I was like, no. And she was like, well, you don't go to parties. And I was like, that doesn't make me lame. Exactly. I was like, and I remember being like, even if it wasn't COVID right now. Yeah. Like, why am I lame because I don't want to go to parties? And she was just kind of like, whatever. And then she walked away. And then the RA just looked at me and was like, dude. And I was like, I cannot believe she just said that to my face. Like, to my face. Oh, so you're lame. And I was like... No,
that's crazy.
What? I was like, what are you talking about?
Like, I feel like my definition of party is very much like, in my head, I picture one of two things. Either the ones I go to, which are like my central group of like my boyfriend's and I's friends, and like decently small, and you know what I mean, and not huge, or 110 people packed into a house that fits maybe 2 sleeping people. Crazy. Insane. So, like, why is it lame to not be surrounding yourself with hundreds of people that you don't know? Yeah. All getting drunk together. Yeah. And possibly having the cops called on you. Because the cops...
Which has happened. Yeah.
They patrol around here like nuts.
Yeah.
Like...
there's a house across the street from the school called 406.
Yep.
That a lot of people go to for parties. And they were going a lot. I had a lot of friends that were going to parties.
Yeah.
My freshman year before COVID. And they were telling me how, like, a lot of the time they would have to, like, hide in the bathroom because the cops got called. Or they were patrolling and they were like, this is clearly out of hand. And all these, like, underage kids were getting trashed at these parties. And, like, all these kids were getting, like, arrested. And it was just crazy. So I would much rather just, like, hang out with my friends.
Exactly. It's much more, like, chill to have, like, 15 or less people.
Yeah.
All of you hanging out, drinking, doing whatever it is that you want to do.
I very much prefer that.
Yeah.
I very much prefer that. To, like, some insane party.
Yeah. Like, a lot of people makes me very nervous.
It's not before COVID. It's just not my thing. Which I guess makes me sound lame, but it's just not my thing.
Yeah, but I feel like there's a big difference between, like, oh, like, going to huge parties isn't my thing, and a difference between being like, oh, you drank, you're a bad person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I feel like then you're kind of like...
I don't feel that way at all.
I don't feel that way at all either. But, like, then I could kind of course it's not right for her to be like, oh, so you're lame.
Yeah.
In any context. But
if I had said something about, like... alcohol is the devil. Like, I can
like,
understand
super
her
weird.
being like, that's lame.
Yeah.
But, like, me just being like, yeah, I'm not really a party person, going, oh, so you're lame.
Yeah, like,
really?
where does she get the gall?
I don't know.
What?
I was like, really?
What on earth?
Okay. I was like, all right, and then I guess I'm lame. I was like, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
I'm okay with being lame if it means that I don't have to go to this huge party and get wasted.
Exactly.
It was crazy to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went to a couple of parties freshman year, and it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But God bless my mom, because I would go to these parties and I would get really drunk, because I was expected to. And
yeah, it's kind of like an
there were a couple of
thing.
nights where I was across campus, and I would call my mom, drunk, and I would be like, Mom! And she'd be like, oh God. And I'd be like, I'm walking back to my dorm. Can you stay on the phone with me? And she'd be like, yeah. And I'd be like, how are you? And she'd be like, it's 2 a.m. How do you think I am? And I was like, I love you. And she'd be like, okay, go to bed.
Yeah, like, get the glass of water.
No. Just very drunk.
Oh my goodness.
Very drunk. But I've been drinking since I was a teenager because I'm Italian.
Fair. Yeah, that's
and my
very
cousins
normal.
were like, we'd rather you do it with us and get used to it than go to college and have never done it and lose your mind, which I do appreciate about my cousins and my parents, because a girl I went to high school with, I graduated with her. We were never friends, but we graduated together. Her first semester at college, this is one semester, fall semester, she got alcohol poisoning 3 times.
Oh my God.
And had to get her stomach pumped 4 times.
4 times?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Because she went berserk. She went ape crazy with the alcohol.
Yeah. Especially if you live in like a really strict house. I could definitely see that.
And I remember
happening.
thinking that was crazy and being like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, like why do you have
to be like, what, something's not right there.
Yeah.
Like, and I think it is just that these kids, they have these strict parents, and then they get to college and there's nobody there to tell them not to. So they go ape shit.
They go crazy.
They go crazy and they lose their minds and they get really sick.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad that didn't happen to me, but I knew a couple of kids that when I got to college that I'm friends with that were like, yeah, this is my first time having alcohol. And I remember being like, you need to drink in moderation. Yeah. And all these kids were like, oh, you're no fun. And I was like, no, because you're going to get really sick, because if this is your first time having alcohol, you don't have a tolerance yet.
Yeah.
So it was concerning to me. And I'm really glad that I got to college. And there were girls who were getting alcohol poisoning when I was in high school too.
Yeah.
Like, there was this one night I was in marching band, and they had this big group of people who came to the games every year, every game, called Dub V, because I went to Wayne Valley, and it was called Dub V. And they would smoke, and they would be in the stands, and a lot of the time they were drinking, and they were getting trashed in the stands or in the soccer field on the side of the stadium.
Yeah.
And there were a couple of times where the ambulance had to come and take a couple of kids away because they drank so much that they were like, they got alcohol poisoning. Yeah. Or just one girl got so blackout drunk that she wouldn't respond.
Oh
like
my
she
God.
was like unresponsive.
That's so scary.
Like she was on the floor and like wasn't like coherent.
Yeah.
And everybody was like, we have to call 911.
Absolutely.
And she went to the hospital. I don't think she had alcohol poisoning, but she was very...
Yeah, like
very,
you really...
Like way too drunk.
Yeah. Like
way
at that point, you do have to...
She was way too drunk.
You know.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's still, even though like we're taught about, you know, like... What is it? The Good Samaritan Law in high school?
The Good Samaritan Law, yeah.
No, it can't be the Good Samaritan Law. Is that about the drinking, or is that about doing CPR in public as a person who's CPR for the fight?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm getting them mixed up. Anyways.
But I know what you're talking about. There is a law that if somebody gets sick from alcohol
or overdoses on some sort of
kind of substance, neither of you will get in trouble
they'll just help the person.
They'll just help the person. They're not going to call the police. Yeah. They're going to help the person.
And if the police come, they're not like legally allowed to ticket you or whatever.
Yeah, they're not.
Which is awesome. But I still feel like there is this like stigma around like we can't call the cops. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's very much, you know,
that's why scary. There's like posters all over my school that's like if somebody needs help them. Yeah. Like you're not going to get in trouble. There's a abstinence thing that if you didn't do something but somebody else did, then you won't get in trouble. They won't get in trouble as long as you get them help. Yeah. So it's scary, but you know, like thankfully I don't know anybody who does like hard drugs. Yeah. Like that hasn't been an issue that I've had in school. Like it hasn't been a problem. Yeah. I have had issues with like there's a couple of people I'm not friends with anymore that the most important thing in their life was smoking weed. Like it was the most important thing.
That's very much like there's I'm a stoner, I smoke, and then there's like I'm prioritizing this over hanging out with friends, over doing work, over leaving my room. Yeah. You know, and at that point it's hard to remain friends with people like that. It is. It's like I'm reaching out, but like
I had a friend that was just consistently blowing me off and I just stopped being friends with her. Because I would be like, do you want to hang out tonight? And she'd be like, I'm busy. Yeah. And I'd be like, okay, how about tomorrow night? And she'd be like, tomorrow night, I should be around, let me see what I'm doing. And then she would text me and be like, hey, like something came up and like I have to help my mom with something. And then her Snapchat story would be her at a party. Yeah. And like smoking by her, or like getting really high in her bedroom. And like,
which is frustrating because it's like,
which is like, why are you lying to me?
Yeah. Like just be open and honest.
Just tell me like I'm going to smoke tonight.
Yeah. But just be like, hey, I don't feel like socializing.
But it was also like every time I wanted to hang out, she would make a plan with me and then she would cancel at the last minute, or she would tell me like I'll text you tomorrow and when I get my schedule, and I wouldn't hear from her for like a couple of weeks.
That's super frustrating.
There was a girl that I was friends with last year that I'm not friends with anymore. That her main priority was drinking. Her most important thing to her was drinking.
That's very scary.
So yeah, give me 1 second. Hello, sir. It's my dad. Hi. All right, I'll see you in a few. All right, bye. All right, we're gonna have to call it a night.
That's perfectly fine.
But yeah, so yeah, girl, it was her biggest priority was getting drunk. Yeah. And I would only hear from her when she needed a ride somewhere. And I got to the point where I was
that's frustrating, and it's also scary being friends with people like
Absolutely.
that. Because it's like, all right, I'm your designated driver, but when is that call gonna be from somebody else letting you know that you got yourself hurt or in a bad situation? You can't make coherent decisions when drunk.
No, you can't. Yeah. Well, this was fun.
This was so much fun.
I'm looking forward to doing more of these with you. I have a friend who we're going to have as a guest soon.
Hell yeah.
His name is Chris, but he is a drag queen. And I'm his assistant, so I'm going to have him come on the show.
Awesome.
I'm going to have him help us out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
All right.
Have a good week.
All right.